Hi everybody, Squirrely Girl here. Just wanted to bring you a little video about Mr. Eric Coomer. This is going to tell you who he is and what he does or what he did, and that way you'll understand why my next video that I'm going to post is so important. It's kind of long, but it's important. So that's all I wanted to tell you. Oh, and please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. And since YouTube hates me, probably go ahead and click that little notification button. That way, when I post something informative or ridiculous, you'll get a little notification telling you to come and watch it and like it and love me. In 2010, Mr. Eric Coomer joined Dominion as Vice President of U.S. Engineering. According to his bio, Coomer graduated from the University of California, Berkeley with a PhD in nuclear physics. Eric Coomer was later promoted to Voting Systems Officer of Strategy and Security, although Coomer has since been removed from the Dominion page of directors. Now I'm going to show you a video of Mr. Eric Coomer showing a room full of people how to cheat using the Dominion voting system.
Handle everything currently digitally. This is our digital adjudication system. If you have multiple ICCs, ImageCast Centrals running, they all write the data to a network drop location, and you can have multiple adjudication stations for multiple teams to handle the outstacked ballots. This is a typical voter intent issue where they didn't fill out the ovals completely, they just made little tick marks. It's what's called an ambiguous mark. And what we're saying is we're not sure what the voter intent is, but we're going to allow the adjudicators to make that call based on any kind of state statutes. So right on the screen, I can go ahead and say, you know what, the voter meant to mark these. They wanted those votes to count for those candidates. I can do the back page. I'm not going to fill all of them in here. And then I hit complete. It's going to go on to the next ballot. And this is another classic one where the voter has circled the names instead of filling in the ovals. Any ballot that needs to be looked at will show up automatically on the screen. Some key things here. This is a great tool for doing things like audits and recounts. Okay, so things like 5% recounts these days. We have an entire additional system that works very similar to the adjudication product, but it's for reviewing ballots. So you can select whether you want to filter by precinct, a random selection of precincts, or just a random sampling of ballots across the whole election to actually audit. We're doing that to support things. The buzzword in the industry these days are risk limiting audits. It's a statistical way of auditing election results, and we can support that through this system as well.
And last but not least for this video, here is my very favorite reporter, Chanel Rion, like 10 months ago, talking to the guy, Joe Altman, who exposed Eric Coomer.
Joe, you infiltrated an Antifa conference call this past September and accidentally came upon a top Dominion voting systems executive named Eric Coomer. Describe that call and what it led you to find.
It was interesting how the call started. Somebody says, "Who's Eric?" He says, "Eric's a Dominion guy." Someone actually said, "Hey, go ahead." Told him to continue speaking. And someone interrupts and says, "What are we going to do if effing Trump wins?" And Eric responds, and I'm paraphrasing this, by the way, "Don't worry about the election. Trump is not going to win. I made effing sure of that." And then they started laughing, and somebody says, "Effing right." At that point, I thought to myself, this guy's crazy. These people are crazy because they think that they are, Jedi warriors and they can just will themselves to Trump not winning.
Fast forward to just after the election, Altman sees an article concerning Georgia's last-minute Dominion voting software updates. The article cites Eric speaking on behalf of Dominion. Altman remembers his September call and begins to dig deeper.
But I did do research on Eric, and so I just put a simple Google search to start, which was Eric Dominion, Denver, Colorado. And Eric Coomer came up immediately under Dominion voting systems. Anytime that there was a press release, Eric Coomer was the one giving that press release. Anytime that they were pitching the product to different municipalities, he was the one pitching the product. And I'm talking about Arizona, Wisconsin, Georgia, Pennsylvania, you name it, his name pops up everywhere.
The real shocker came when Altman found Coomer's Facebook posts.
And when I got access to his Facebook, you get that sinking feeling like what this is crazy. Here's a director of of strategy and security at Dominion. And when I got into his Facebook page, that's when things really started to kind of come together for me that Eric Coomer was this, that he was not just Antifa, he was responsible for putting his finger on the scales of our election.